there, this is also with a new process video. Today I'm going to do a vacation layout, and then I'm going to take a break from vacation photos and do something completely different. So this is kind of a grand finale with a really hard paper. These are two papers from Bo Bunny and Forever Young, I think the collection was called. And the first one is a cutterboard sheet and the other is a pre-embellished background page. And I'm going to pretty much try to see what I can do with these two, because these are papers that I like to buy them because I think they are so pretty and they spark kind of creativity, or at least they give me ideas that I want to do layouts with these. But then when I sit down, they are totally not my style, and on the other hand, it's also very thematic, and perhaps they don't work with just any photos. And for this particular sheet, there were lots of kind of tropical and summery symbols and pictures, and I thought that that would go really well together with this selfie portrait of hubby and me and a photo of a heart that I just drew in the sand with my finger. And those are, since they don't have a theme on their own, I think that I could pretend that it's just a tropical kind of theme. So I'm going to try and see what I can do with these, and it will totally be off my style, and it will also be a very simple layout. But that's nothing wrong with that. And I guess that most of you have papers like these, and they are kind of sticking around because they are hard to use. And I really hope that I can inspire you to dig out some of those before they become too old. I've started to cut out some of these cards that I thought would fit this photo project, and I'm going to mount everything as it is onto that loving every minute pre-embellished background, and I'm going to let that sentiment be my title. I looked at that little series of 3 photos on a black background, and I thought that that looked really good. It gave a lot of contrast, and I wanted to have a black border around all my little cards. So I'm going to go with that width of a border, and I'm going to place all my cards on black cardstock. And when I was done with that, I realized that the border around that original piece wasn't as black as my black border was. So I'm going to cut apart that card and give it the same black border as the rest of the cards. I feel that there's a little kind of a thought in the scrapbooking community, at least online, that the more complicated a page is, the better it is. But at the same time, that gives a lot of anxiety for people that particularly don't like the complicated stuff. And I realize when I look back in my albums that I made lots of very easy layouts. And that was kind of the start for me, just to place photos on a pretty background page, and perhaps mat them or put a funky title or something like that. But you don't see that much of that kind of scrapbooking in the online community today. So this is perhaps a way for me to give a little something back to the style that I used to scrapbook, and at the same time trying to make it a little bit more current and use up the stuff that I bought because I thought it was beautiful. I just love that hot pink, by the way. It's really striking, and I think that when I bought this paper, I thought that I would make pages for my daughter and her portrait photos. I think I felt that this Forever Young kind of theme and the color scheme, it spoke more to her photos than photos of me and hubby. But this is also a really suiting, I think, combination. And yeah, now I'm doing that I told you before, that I needed to make everything the same. So I cut away the old border and replaced it with a new one. When I get my photos, I tend to notice that they aren't the true size. I guess it's because they make their photocopies from a long, like a roll of photo paper, and then they cut them where the page or where the photo ends. And I guess it's some kind of optical machine that does that, because it doesn't always give the same length of my photos. So that's why when I tape them together, I sometimes, or almost always, need to just trim a little bit to make them the same height. And I saw that I just did that there. Now I'm making one of those very special for me photo blocks, and I actually just put them together before I put them on the background page. But that's a way for me to just see how much space the actual photo block will take up when it's done, and then I can place it onto the background page, and it will have the room that it needs. I'm bringing out my broad Signo white pen, and I'm making a white border. The title is white, so I thought it would be nice to have a white border. And when I did that, I also felt that I want some more white. And then I remember that I had bought the Ranger enamel accent in white, and I felt that it was a perfect opportunity for me to use that on this page and make my own enamel dots. And I've seen a lot of people online, they make these dots beforehand, and then they glue them onto the projects. But I've realized that I'm very crappy with those kind of pre-made embellishments. I tend to just not use them. I know myself way too much, and I have no problem with this kind of method, just squirting the liquid, the enamel accent directly onto the page. It works totally fine for me, and I'm okay with the risk that I'm taking, that it may become messy. But this time I think I did very well, and here are some close-ups of the finished project, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Next time I see you, we'll be doing cat layouts. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. This is Åsa. Bye.